I thought I'd take a few minutes to look at the assignments for this week. So I'm on assignment 3 here. A little bit about it. It is an assignment that will lead you through understanding how to use Object Sender, how to condense several event handlers down into a single event handler. So in the case of having 10 numbers or 10 buttons, we reduce 10 buttons down to 10 event handlers down to using just one event handler. And likewise, we do a second instance of that, reducing 4 event handlers down to one event handler. And we do that by casting an object into a specific type. And so casting is the process of converting one thing into a different type. So things are typed in C#, and so an object is a type and a button is a type. And so in this assignment, you will receive an object in the event handler, and you will cast it or convert it into a button. So you will change the type of it. So it is in fact, a button is an object. It's just that when you click the button, that fires the event handler. The event handler receives the button, but it receives it as a generic object. And so we use what's called casting in order to convert that object into a button, and then we can use it from there. Now I've used the word convert a couple of times. That's not the same as the convert class that you will also use. The convert class is a method of, in our case, taking a number that is stored as text. Again, things are strictly typed. So if it's text, it's not a number. But you could type the number 7 as text, and then we can convert it to an integer. So we use the convert class for that. And so each button in this assignment will have something on the button. 10 of them are numbers. And so when clicking any of those 10 buttons, we will read the number off of the button, which is text, and we will use the convert class to convert it to an integer. And in that way, we're able to perform mathematical operations with it, and then we can use .toString to convert it back to text to display it in a text box. So this assignment will give you a lot more experience in using event handlers and condensing multiple event handlers down to fewer event handlers, making your coding a little bit more efficient. You'll also use the session object. You'll find using the session object very similar to how we've used it before. But aside from that, there are videos associated with this assignment. There's a couple of debugging videos that are there, and there's a finished solution that you can look through. There's a quick explanation of using Object Sender as it relates to what we're doing, and then there's a full video of going through assignment 3. Now likewise this week, your second research assignment begins as well. There it comes. And so in this one, you're going to be answering a few questions about the .NET framework. You're going to do some research into what the .NET framework is, talk about the class libraries and what the Common Language Runtime is. What is it? What's it do? What's the most recent release of the .NET framework? We've actually, through completing assignment 2, we've kind of gotten into that a little bit, and whether or not older versions can be used, and what can you compare it to. And so I look forward to seeing what you have on on that particular research assignment. That again is a 2-week assignment, so it's due February 15th, whereas your assignment 3 is due February 8th. So you'll have this one due this coming week, and then the second research assignment will be a week beyond that. And so that leads you through most of what we have going on this week. There's a section of notes there. It also discusses access modifiers in the notes, public, protected, and private. And that's something that we'll learn more of as we continue on and we get into kind of if we look at the 3 pillars of object-oriented programming, but we'll get into that more. Public basically opens the interface up to the outside client. Protected allows you to use the methods and properties within different files within the class, and private says that you can only members of this class can use it. So protected, if you inherit from it, you can access it. And public is you don't need to inherit from it. You can just access it because it's public. So some information about that as well. That should take you into this week and into the beginning of next week, and working on this assignment. And I'll look forward to seeing what you produce.